with you. I can share this over the internet. If they don't die, they don't have to die to get a big life insurance check. So I show people how to. Then your marketplace is the people that's coming into your office. All right. So the more value that you deliver to people on a daily basis, the more money you're going to end up making. Now, guess what? That doesn't even have to come in a monetizable product, believe it or not. You can actually deliver value and plenty of value. You can deliver lots of value via medium like YouTube and get a ton of subscribers. Wrangler Star, for example, he doesn't charge a dime for showing you how to sharpen an axe, does he? Not even 1 cent, not one red cent. He doesn't charge a dime to show you how to sharpen an axe. But he tells you about it and he delivers value on that level for what you want to know at that time. That's what I'm talking about. He's delivering value to over 1 million people now. Over 1 million people find him valuable enough to hit the subscribe button. And what is that? Sponsorships and all that stuff. So he's delivering value to people, not even monetizing a product. Okay, he's delivering value and he's reaping the rewards of it. Now, the advertisers are also receiving value for his time and him putting stuff on the internet. Okay. So there, Yanmar gets a shout out every time Wrangler Star drives his tractor around. He gets that. They see a Yanmar tractor out there. I think it's a Yanmar. They see that tractor out there. But that's we just put that Bitcoin in there and it's invested and it keeps on keeping on. It keeps on rolling every 6 hours. I'm getting massive returns, like as long as it's in force. Well, that's $50, $100 a month every single time. It may not be a big upfront commission that month, okay? But you couple that with life insurance or whatever the case is, and here we go. Now you're making a little bit more money. It's something that you can live off of. But that residual, that health coverage residual, starts building and building and building. So next thing you know, you're doing 10 of those a month. Okay, 20 of those, 30 of those a month. Some people are, right? And they're making, they're starting off doing $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month in health coverage residuals just by stacking them. Just keeping at it, keeping at it, keeping at it. Next thing you know, in a few months, they're able to replace a full-time income. They're able to build. They're and within 4, 5, 6 months, 6 months doing that. I mean, you're making yourself a darn nice living. You're making yourself a very nice living, and very comfortable living from home. And you can keep on doing that, and you do it as much as you want, or as little as you want. Just depending on what your comfort level is. And so anyway, these types of skills, this type of education is something that can build your residual income to where you have that financial freedom, you have that time freedom to live on the homestead that you want to live on. And it doesn't take a big investment. It doesn't take a whole lot of education. Okay. But these are 4 different ways. Again, we talked about just straight up bringing value like Wrangler Star does. Okay. Or we talked about being like an insurance advisor, like we are. Okay. And a retirement planner. You can do that. You can be a consultant from home. You can sell your knowledge. Okay. Not just be a consultant, but you can also sell your knowledge on the ability to whatever skill you have. Hey Roy, weather might be a factor, bro, but we're also over here in the sticks on my end as well, and so yeah, I hope it's not buffering right now, but it doesn't show me that it's buffering right now. But these are multiple ways that you can make a living from home. All you have to do is change your mindset. Change your mindset. Open your mind to the idea and the fact that everything that you that most people know, that most people are taught, is bullshit. What do I mean by that? I mean, you're taught to go to school and get a good job to where you can retire after 40 years of slaving away. When you're 65 years old, you finally get to do what you want. Bogus. Bogus, bogus, bogus. That method sucks. And I tell you what, it doesn't work anymore. That was back in the day. That worked in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Okay? Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Business understanding is a good thing to know. What we're talking about here, Roy, is being able to make a living from the homestead. Okay, so we're looking at actually making a living from the homestead, and different methods of doing that, and doing it online. Like we do. So we talked about investing, and we have some investments that look. I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't take a lot of investment. It really doesn't take a lot of investment to make 60, 70, $100,000 a year. You could do that in less than $20,000. Okay, less than $20,000 can make you over 60, 70, $100,000 a year right now with cryptocurrencies. Let's see. That's right. That's right, Roy. So Roy said, bogus indeed. You spend your life and energy making someone else's business succeed, and your rate never changes. And it's not just that, but you're slaving away for a 401k, uh, that because companies don't give pensions anymore, they've scammed you into believing that a 401k is a good idea. And so now that you have a 401k, your 401k drops by 40%. Next thing you know, you're 62 years old, your 401k is dropped by 40%, and you have no way to retire because everybody told you put the money in the 401k. Okay. So we teach completely different methodology than the mainstream, as far as retirement planning is concerned. And this is what we do from home, and that's one thing that we do from home. But our investments uh, allow us to receive a residual income in cryptocurrencies, that can be cashed out. It can be cashed out immediately, at any time we choose, and it enables us to not have to have that, in the back of my mind, say, hey, how am I going to make everything work this month? Okay. Because I don't have to be concerned about that. Even when cryptocurrencies, drop down like they have in the past week or so, we can ride that out. All right. Because we know that's coming back, and it's okay. We're still making enough money every single day residually to pay for everything we have to pay for. And it doesn't take rocket science, and it doesn't take, you don't even have to know anything about cryptocurrencies really to be able to make money with it. But that's one passive way that we make money. And like I said, another way, create products where you can teach people what you know. Um, let's see, Roy, what do you do for a living? Let's use you as an example since you're active here. If you're still listening, what is it that you do for a living? We'll use that as an example. If you have a skill, um, whether you're a blacksmith, a welder, whatever the case is, you can teach that, and people will pay you for it, which is fantastic. Um, okay, yeah. So if you're relying on disability to to make it work, $800 a month isn't going to get you to first base. That's so far below the poverty line. It's insane. Um, Being able to generate income from home, uh, before you became disabled, Roy, what were you doing? Like, you have skills. Okay, I'm not asking how you make money, but what did you do for a living? What what were you in the military? Um, were you a teacher? whatever the case is, whatever you did, whatever you do, there's something that you can teach somebody else, and all you need is what you already have. With a computer, I'm doing this right here, right now with a computer. I don't have any special equipment, just a laptop with a camera with a camera on it that came stock, you know, and an internet connection. There's free services out there right now that you can use, like Zoom, for example, or Join.me, and you can use these free services to do screen shares with people or do face to face with people, and that enables you to be able to be a consultant, okay, on whatever it is that you do for a living. You know, there's a lot of people that live on disability, always disabled. It's okay, psychiatric, born bipolar. Employers don't tolerate unpredictable moods. Well, that's true. That's true. But you don't need an employer either. Um, what we're talking about here is doing this without an employer. Okay, an employer is somebody that's going to give you a job, and that's what you're going to get. And yeah, they're probably not going to choose the guy that, with bipolar, and but I tell you this, that whatever skill you may have, there's something that you know how to do, right? So there's a lot of people that are born bipolar that go on to succeed, and that can succeed financially. Okay, I mean, I don't know if they take medications, I don't know if they smoke pot. I have no idea. I have no idea. Whatever you're interested in, though, this is what I do know. Whatever you're interested in, whatever it is, you can make a living at it online. It doesn't matter what it is. There's Instagram, there's YouTube, there's Facebook, there's there's a dozen different ways right now that you can use to become influential. Twitter is a massive one that you can use to become influential online, and then somebody pays you for your knowledge, right? People are doing that at a massive rate right now, and you've got entrepreneurs that are dropping out of the government indoctrination program, and just, what, they focus on what they're interested in. Is it gardening? Do you have a hobby? Is there anything that you know how to do? Because I'm not going to sit here and believe for 1 second, Roy, that there's not something that you know how to do. That there's not something that you don't know how to do better than somebody else. I guarantee you, everyone, everyone, even born bipolar, disabled men, know how to do something better than somebody else. There's something that you do. Is it playing a video game, right? Whatever it may be. Are you really good at playing Sonic the Hedgehog? You rack up more points than anybody playing Sonic the Hedgehog, or whatever games are out there nowadays. I'm not a gamer, I don't know. But my point is that you can always find something that you do better than everybody else. I do leather work, and that's one thing. I consider myself a good entrepreneur. I consider myself a good communicator. I consider myself uh, good with the things I'm interested in, like, saving people's retirements. But for some reason, I became really good at doing leather work, and it was right off the bat. I never struggled. I never had the ugly pieces that people have. Um, I've seen some guys doing it. They're doing it 6 months. They're doing it a year, and they're putting out garbage. And everybody tells them it looks great, but it doesn't. It's garbage. For some reason, immediately I started putting out beautiful stuff. And that's not to brag. I mean, that's a blessing from the Lord. But it's just something that I took to naturally. Okay. I don't have a great attention to detail. I tell my employees, I tell people, I paint with a wide brush. I paint with a roller. If I'm painting a room, I'm the guy with the roller. Okay. I've got the big idea. I need help to come and get the trims around the windows and the doors and to take off the electric sockets and stuff like that. Right. and tape everything off. That's not the stuff that I do, you know. So so there is always something that you're going to be good at and something that you're not going to be good at. And whatever skill you have, I'm trying to encourage you here, but I'm telling you the truth at the same time. I'm not going to bullshit you. Whatever skill you have, whatever you know how to do, that is monetizable. Yeah, man. I mean, look, there's a lady down the street. She uses bee propolis, okay, and shea butter and stuff like that, and it makes these. It's almost like an apothecary she has on the street, and she makes bee soap, propolis soap, bee propolis, and if you don't know what that is, it's the sticky substance that bees use to hold their hives together and to keep everything clean. And they use it. It's bee glue basically, but it has all these awesome characteristics. It's antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, and so we use it all the time. And in the bee soap, it kills dandruff. It disinfects. It's just extraordinary, And she's charging, what is it, $8 a bar for that stuff. And there are doctors out there, okay, podiatrists, especially podiatrists, people with stuff on their feet and whatnot. They're always seeing that kind of stuff. These podiatrists are buying that stuff from her, 100, 200 bars at a time. They buy it from her for $6 in bulk per bar, and she's selling, 200 at a time to a podiatrist. They mark it up to $32 and sell it to the patient over the counter. You see? So yeah, man. So soap making is something that's very valuable skill. So there you go. That's your business. That's a good business right there. You can do it from home, and yeah, you could totally grow loofah in your garden. Okay, and it's really ridiculous. This, how much opportunity there is out there. Yeah, so beeswax and she's got this one deal. It's a paste, but it's propolis and wax and other other bee products, and it is amazing uh, for man, damn near everything. It heals eczema. It heals hot spots on dogs. It cures athlete's foot, yeast infections, all kinds of shit. So it's really really incredible because again, this stuff is antifungal, antiviral, and antibacterial. So it's good to have it on the homestead no matter what. So you can actually get the pieces for that on Alibaba.com, and you can buy bee propolis in bulk in either liquid or powdered form on Alibaba. It's pretty cool. Oh, there's a huge comeback towards natural homegrown products. Yeah. Yeah. People appreciate that. You know, when when I sell a piece of leather, like a leather sheath, for example, for a knife, I don't compete with the $30 job from China. Okay. And I'm not doing the plain stuff. My my all my leather work, I'll charge $200, $300 for a sheath, for a knife sheath because it's legit, because it's a good deal. It's and it may not be a good deal to everybody financially, but everybody's not my market. All right, my market is the guy that's not going to ask any questions. He just wants something really nice, and I tell him $300, and he says no problem. That's the market, and those guys are out there. There's guys out there that pay 40, 50, $60,000 for a saddle. You know, takes you a month to make it. So what? That's the market. Okay, that's market for us. I'm not out there to compete with the cheap stuff and go sell it at the gun show. I want the high end stuff that I can work harder on, but do less of. It might take me 20 hours to make a sheath instead of 1 hour, but it's but I might make $1,500 off of that same sheath as opposed to as opposed to having to make having to make 20 or 30 bucks off of it. And plus I enjoy the work, you see. So this but they don't want it built in China. They don't want it built fast processes. They want something hand tooled, something custom, and they want they want it from a Montana leather worker, you know, and that's whether you want to make soap, whether you want to. I love that kind of stuff. I love apothecary stuff. I love essential oils, herbs, all that kind of thing. I'm really big into that. During the spring and summertime over here, we'll go pick arnica. We'll go pick all the stuff that grows on our property, and we'll make tinctures out of it and stuff like that as well. That stuff is very, very valuable. And the when the shiesta hits the fan, that's going to be an extraordinarily valuable skill to have. So if you have all the raw materials to make the soap that you want, then that's something that's highly tradable. You know. Agreed. Agreed. I tell you, another skill that you could have is blacksmithing. That's something that you can do from home. Okay. We happen to have a shop on the property. If you've seen any of my other videos, you've seen the shop. And so we have a shop on the property. We can, you can do fab work in a shop. You can do blacksmithing in a shop. You can, I do my leather work in a shop. You can do woodworking in a shop. All these types of hobbies are monetizable. Not only are they monetizable as far as the hobby itself is concerned, but they're monetizable in the sense that you can teach someone else to do it as well. Okay. So I wanted to talk about that, but as far as being able to create passive income, we have multiple ways to create passive income. Okay, multiple ways to create passive income, and we are doing them. We're doing most of them right now. We can't do everything, right, because there's just so much Jeff to go around. But the biggest thing that we're doing that's that's working the best for us is the cryptocurrency stuff. Being able to invest in let's say Bitcoin, for example, put it into a system and have that system return, trade it and return that money over and over and over again. And we're making 35% a month right now on our investments. Okay, that's profit. So we're profiting around, I think the number's around 34% per month is what we're profiting. So if you have $10,000 and you put $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, okay, so you put that $10,000 worth of Bitcoin in the system, and it's going to return. I think you're profiting like 1.13% per day on average, and so it's going to be returning that every single day. That's $113 a day, okay, off a $10,000 investment, assuming that the price of the coin stays the same. If the price goes up, you make a lot more money. If the price goes down, you're going to make less money for that day. But what we know that Bitcoin has a long-term upward trajectory, no matter what it's doing right now. If it's down right now, then you better buy it, because this is, we understand the all the financials behind this, and we know that this is a highly manipulated market, and that this is getting ready to go for a massive bull run. So anyway, again, don't take anything I say as financial advice, because this is not geared specifically toward any one of you. This is just what we're doing, okay? And this is what we believe. This isn't tax advice, legal advice, financial advice. This is just what we believe, and this is what we're doing. This is what's working for us. I think when I bought into Bitcoin, I put in It was more than $10,000, but not much more. And we are currently bringing in, let's see, um, we're bringing in six figures, passively, passive income. Okay. Um, and so we're bringing six figures passive income right now because we keep rolling it over and keep reinvesting it. And so we're bringing in six figures passive income right now. And that wasn't that long ago that we started doing that either. So, so we have a very solid system right now that's allowing us to ride this wave and keep moving upwards in this Bitcoin trajectory that is bringing us passive income to where when I wake up on the homestead every morning, I'm not wondering, do I have to go make a sale today to pay for everything? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? Do I have to go please someone else? Do I have to go and please a boss? Right? It's I've lived that life and I don't enjoy it. Now I might, there's been times as an entrepreneur where I've said, man, I wish I could just go back to the oil field and start making $15,000 a month again, $20,000 a month again. Okay. The trade-off is that I was on a rig 25 days a month offshore. Was I making good money? Yeah, yeah, damn right. Yeah, I'm a specialist in the oil and gas industry. And I'm third generation in that actually. And and so yeah, we're making very good money offshore and being a specialist as I was in the downhole fishing tools industry. So that's where we would, when they're drilling, they twist off, the pipe twists off or breaks. In its most simple form, we have the tools and the expertise to go down there, grab it, and come out. And so, and pull the fish, what we call the fish, we pull it out of the hole. And so that's there's been times as an entrepreneur where I've said, man, I just want to go back to doing that. Life was simple then. I knew where I was, I knew where I was going to work, and all the bills were paid and everything was clean. We've had those times, and everybody should have those times. But the freedom that we get now, the time freedom, the financial freedom to move wherever we be, wherever we want to be, you know, I don't want to spend 25 days a month offshore. I don't want to spend 25 days a month on a rig. Okay. I want to be where my family is. I've got a bunch of young kids. When I say a bunch, I've got four. Okay. I want to see those kids every day. And and I want to make sure that they have what they need and that they're safe, that they're happy, and that they're being raised properly. I want to be there. And being an entrepreneur has allowed me that luxury to do that. Okay. It's allowed me to move out here to this homestead in Montana. And it's allowed us to do the things that we want to do, and it's humbling. It's very humbling to be able to participate in this, and we thank God for it every single day. Every single day, not a day goes by where we don't thank God for His blessings.